Righty. We're getting it started here. I know it's 6 o'clock. We just got to go with what we got to go with. So it's going to be trying to get it down to 6:30. Share it with whomever. We're going to go over the games as it is week 8 of Friday night under the lights. Get some time to get some fans to come in. Share it out here. Leave your comments, questions. I'm Matt Stats. Welcome to the pregame show, the first points of the game. Schedule for tonight, I say all of them are region games except for one game, and that's going to be Poplarville at Tylertown is a non-region game. As you guys are getting ready to head out, got less than an hour till kickoff at 7 o'clock here, October 18th. Very important game tonight for the region games. Again, just one game that is not in the region. Because those teams who are 1-0 don't want to say they can afford to go and lose this game to go 1-1, but the teams that are 0-1 can ill afford to lose this game to go down 0-2, meaning with 3 games left in the majority of the regions, you cannot lose a game, or you got to win 2 out of 3. The games tonight in 1A, Resurrection at East Marion. 3A, St. Patrick at St. Stanislaus. 4A is the only non-region game tonight. Number 2 ranked Poplarville at Tylertown. 4A, again, region game is Pass-Christian at Moss Point. Bay High at Greene County. 5A, East Central at Laurel. Van Cleve at Stone. And Wayne County at Gaucher. 6A, you have Terry at Pearl River Central. That's 6A Region 3. 6A Region 4, you have Hancock at George County. Long Beach at Pascagoula. And Picayune at West Harrison. In the 7A class, you're going to have Biloxi at D'Iberville, Harrison Central at Ocean Springs, and D'Iberville at Gulfport. We're going to look at the game predictions, which are on the Facebook page. Go over here real quick, and you got any questions, do ask. We'll go till 6:30, at least 6:30. Resurrection 1-1 at East Marion, who's 1-1. I have East Marion winning tonight 20-18. It's a decent road trip for Resurrection. They're a young team. Been saying that all season. Still, they're 1-1 in the region. I still believe they're going to make the playoffs, and they are the defending region champions, but they're not going to win the region this year. And that's the only team in 1A. In 3A, we have St. Patrick at St. Stanislaus. So it happens to be there's 5 teams in the region. Those are the 2 coast teams in the region that are playing each other tonight. Rocket Charles have won all 4 games. They've played against St. Patrick. The Fighting Irish on a 12-game losing streak. That is the longest active on the coast. Rocks 3-0 at home. They're on an 8-game home winning streak. And the winner of the game unofficially will make it to the playoffs. That's a 5-team division game. So 4 of them will make it, and the winner will have heads up against the other team. And so the winner of this game will unofficially get into the playoffs. St. Stanislaus, I have winning 34-10. Pass-Christian, we're moving up now to 4A, Region 8. Pass-Christian, who's 0-2, and Moss Point, I have 0-1. I have to double-check that. But that game is to decide who's going to get the playoff spot. It's going to decide who gets the playoff spot. And they are 0-2. The Moss Point is 0-2, so I don't know why I have them at 0-1, but I will fix that. They are hosting Pass-Christian And that, again, the winner will make it to the playoffs with a 5-team division as I fix it here. 0-2. Save that out. The loser will not make the playoffs. In fact, Moss Point only has one more game at Greene County next week. Again, if you have any questions, comments, see what you want on this pregame show as we brought broadcasters on who are at games before the game and try to give insight on what's happening live before the kickoff. Or you just want to go over records, go over game predictions, you let us know, and we'll certainly try to bring it to you. Bay High at 1-0 beat Moss Point last week at Greene County, who was off last week. Greene County is 1-0. They beat, Pass Christian? Yes, 33-25 2 weeks ago. I have Greene County winning 52-21 there. Again, in 4A, Poplarville, who's 2-0, is a non-region game at Tylertown. They're 1-1 in the region, 3-3 overall. Poplarville 6-1, lost to West Jones. I have Poplarville winning 23-18, which really I should bump it up because I believe Keys, their great running back, is going to get some playing time tonight. I don't know how much time. I'm not connected with the team to know if he's going to get some snaps in, play the whole game. I have no idea, but Poplarville should win that game at Tylertown, and I believe it's going to be closer maybe than some people think. We're going to move up to 6A. 6A, which, nope, we're going to 5A. 5A. East Central at Laurel. East Central's just not having a great season, but they could certainly make it better if they get this win tonight between the Bricks at Laurel. Of course, Laurel lost last week hosting Stone. Hornets 1-2 on the road, and that's where they only one win on the season. That's the win came on the road. So maybe a chance for them to beat Laurel. I don't have it. I have Laurel winning 32-12 there. Van Cleve at Stone, right up at Perk. As Stone does not have a home field, they use the Gulf Coast field there, as MGCCC did win at Colin last night, 27-20. Great win there for Coach Wright and Coach Schufelt and all the other coaches there and players. JP Coulter, 2 touchdown passes, over 100 yards receiving. But I digress. Van Cleve at Stone. Van Cleve 0-1, Stone 1-0. I have Stone winning 24-13. Both teams have pretty good defense there. The offense tends to struggle, but we shall see what happens in that game. 5A Region 4. Wayne County at Gaucher. Gaucher has that 15-game home winning streak. It's homecoming. I mean, Bingo posted, a picture on Facebook of, it's big down there to pregame, and a lot of past players from there that has won the region, and they haven't been to a state championship game, but a lot of alumni there that to watch this game. Hopefully that won't be a distraction for the Gators as they host Wayne County. Wayne County's 1-0, and Gaucher is 1-0. Wayne County beat East Central, and Gaucher beat Van Cleve last week. So I have the Gators winning 39-24. They're still trying to figure out their defense. That is, the Gators are just giving up a lot more points. In fact, the most they've given up 29 points a game. That's a little bit much there for the Gators. But as long as you outscore the other side, but to win a state championship, you're going to have a pretty good defense. 6A, move up 6A, Region 3, PRC, Coach Feaster, back-to-back wins, and they won last week in an unofficial playoff win and in game as they host Terry there tonight. Terry's 0-1. I have Terry winning 33-17. As great as PRC has been playing, they will be in the playoffs. But Terry and the other teams in that division where you have West Jones at 6-1. You have Hattiesburg at the top at 6-0, and Terry is 5-2. Forest Hill, who they beat, 1-5, and PRC is 2-4. Still a great season, and to appear to have made the playoffs, obviously, unless something fluke happens. But PRC hosts Terry there tonight. I have Terry winning 33-17. Hancock at George County. Hancock defeated West Harrison. That was a big game there because these are 2-game swings. Whenever you beat a team head up, it's actually 2 games. So that was a nice win for Hancock, even though most didn't think that they would beat West Harrison at home. But West Harrison couldn't close the deal. The Hawks win it in the last minute or so in the game there. But I have George County winning tonight. Deuce Knight, QB1, is back. He was back last week. And I have George County winning 44-21. Hancock in the 2 road losses this year thus far, they have 2 road losses. Both of them went into overtime. We'll be in overtime tonight at George County. We shall see there. Long Beach at Pascagoula. Pascagoula, of course, leaving Picayune last week with a loss. They were right there, 31-28. I had them to win. They could not get it done there at the end. They had some turnovers, but Picayune, Daryl Smith it couldn't be stopped. And it was a total team effort, and Picayune defeated Pascagoula. So Pascagoula needs this win, to stay right there for that 2nd seed to get a home playoff game. The scenario is almost playing out like last year, where George County and Pascagoula played in that last game for who was going to get the 2nd seed, and George County defeated Pascagoula. I'm bringing up George County. They will play Pascagoula that last game on November 7th. Hosting Pascagoula. Of course, George County has to play at Picayune the week before, and that will be right now for the region title if it goes as projected. That George County and Picayune will play for the region title there in a few weeks. But nonetheless, Long Beach comes in at 0-1 at Pascagoula. The Panthers lead the series 15-2. The Bearcats looking for back-to-back. They have back-to-back road games. This is their 2nd game. They're 1-2 this season on the road. Again, the Panthers are 4-0 at home this year. Long Beach has lost 37 straight region games. 37 straight region games, the Long Beach Bearcats. Could they get the win? I mean, they got Junior Brown. They got a couple running backs. Junior Brown is one of them that could do it. But Pascagoula, I still feel, are well balanced, even though they lost Parnell, the defensive captain, with Silas Quarter, Action Jackson. I mean, they got several players there on both sides of the balls that will look to get it done. I have them winning 35-12, the Panthers over Long Beach tonight. Number 1 team on the coast, very tight race for that top 10. We'll go over that in a little bit. Picayune travels to West Harrison. Maroon Tide have won all 11 games against West Harrison. West Harrison, if you didn't know, for those who don't know, they formed in 2009. So they peeled off of Harrison Central and made their own team, West Harrison, when they built that new school. But Maroon Tide has won all 11 games by a score of 52-13 is the average score. Picayune, 18 regular season road winning streak. They're 2-0 this year. And of course, I say that regular season because they did lose a road playoff game. Hurricanes 2-0 at home and have an overall 4-game winning streak at home. That goes obviously back to last season. Let me see here. I do add that the strength of schedule for these teams are very opposite, and the score will reflect this. West Harrison, I know they've been playing some great ball this year, but bottom line, they haven't played teams that are great, to put it out there. They lost in Greene County. They did beat Summerall, who is 1-6 currently. They beat East Marion, who is 1-6 currently. They beat Bay, who is 2-5. They beat Moss Point, who was 0-7. And then they lost to Hancock, who is 2-5. So they got some great running backs there at West Harrison. Could they win? Would it be shock the state win? Not. It would. It would be semi-shock if they beat Picayune. But that's why they'll play the game. But I have Picayune winning 37-22 at West Harrison tonight. In the big class, 7A, 6 teams. Went from 8 to 6 teams. Again, 4 teams will make the playoffs, no matter how many teams you have in your region. Some teams have 5. Some regions have 5. 4 of them will make the playoffs. Biloxi at 0-1 at St. Martin, who's 0-1. Biloxi, they lead the series 14-10. They've won 5 straight against St. Martin. They're 1-1 on the road this year. The Indians. Yellow Jackets 2-1 at home. Biloxi lost that Thursday at home against Gulfport 21-7. St. Martin lost a close one at Harrison Central last Friday, 20-16. St. Martin is playing a lot better this year. They stopped that long losing streak, the first game of the year, as I predicted, against Van Cleve. Let me see. Again, I write in my notes there. Both teams are 0-2. 0-1. If you go 0-2, you're in trouble. You're pretty much out of the playoffs. Not officially, but what's this kid at 0-2, that means 3 games left. You're going to have to win the rest of the games to even have a shot at a playoff spot. I have Biloxi winning that game 27-14, even though their offenses have been struggling, with St. Martin averaging 15 points per game and Biloxi 11 points per game on offense. So first one to 25 should win that game. I have Biloxi winning 27-14. Could St. Martin win it? Very much so. They can win it. Harrison Central 1-0. Beat St. Martin last week at Osha Springs, the 4th-ranked team who was 1-0. Went to D'Iberville and took care of them, even after, giving up that opening drive touchdown to D'Iberville. They put it on them. 27-13 was the final. Osha Springs at D'Iberville last week. Harrison Central, as mentioned, beat St. Martin at home 20-16. The Greyhounds lead the series 40-23, winning 3 straight against the Red Rebels. They're 1-3 in road games. Harrison Central Greyhounds have a 4-game home losing streak going back to last year. 4 straight home losses. I say the Red Rebels would need a perfect game, stay close, low scoring, and still the victory. Harrison Central could win this game, but they have to keep it low scoring. Greyhounds, as I write, look to improve yet again. They've been improving. Again, ranked, voted the toughest, hardest schedule, non-region schedule there on the coast. And now we get into region play. They look to improve game by game. First win at home, and then all things will be good for Osha Springs tonight, looking to 4-peat. No team has ever won the region 4 straight times in the big region. Used to be 6A, now 7A. A hashtag stat that I have for this game: Osha Springs 20 straight region wins. 20 straight region wins. The last region loss was in 2020, and who was that against? Harrison Central. Harrison Central can stop that streak there tonight, but 20 straight region games. The record is 23, held by who? Gulfport, who they play to set a 24th straight region win. If they win tonight and they win next week at Biloxi, they play Gulfport with 23 straight region wins. They can break the record, but nonetheless, Osha Springs, I have them winning 37-18 over Harrison Central. The last game, 7th-ranked D'Iberville lost Osha Springs last week against Gulfport, beat Biloxi on that Thursday, so they had an extra day of preparation. The Admirals lead the series 10-6, splitting the last 4. Gulfport winning, though, the last 2. Warriors 1-2 in road games. They've lost 2 straight. One of the 2 road games. Yeah, losing 2 straight. Excuse me. Admirals' third home game. They're 1-1 in the previous 2 games. 3 of the 5 region games are at home for Gulfport, which bodes well for them, which I had predicted before the region play started, even right the season started, that they're a well-balanced team and that they would win the region. We shall see how that plays out. Dalville, obviously, last week lost to Oyster Springs 27-13. Biloxi won 21-7. Warriors need this win, as I write, to keep any hope of grabbing a 2nd seed. I don't know about a top seed because, again, they're 2 games now behind Oyster Springs. But you say, hey, they only lost Oyster Springs once. If they're tied with them, they're losing the tiebreaker. So they have to be a game ahead of Oyster Springs. That's how the tiebreaker works when you go head-on-head, 1-on-1. Admirals getting back in the groove of things, and this will go a long way to getting a playoff ticket and even a region title with this win here at 2-0. They would move to against D'Iberville. Have the Gulfport winning 33-24. I might have should have bumped that Warrior score into the 20s, maybe 22. But that's what I have, 33-14. Gulfport defeating the Admirals here tonight. All games, again, start at 7 o'clock as we are approaching the 6:30 time frame, so about a half hour before they go live with the kickoff. Let me bring you up to date here on the Coast Top 10. Coming in at 10th is Van Cleve. 9th is Stone. 8th, George County. D'Iberville is 7th. Pascagoula 6th ranked. Gaucher 5th ranked. Ocean Springs 4th ranked. Gulfport 3rd. Poplarville 2nd. Picayune number 1 ranked team. And in part, people say, well, Gulfport beat Picayune. They should be ahead of them. It's a combination of the strength of schedule. Both teams have pretty decent strength of schedule. Matter of the quality of win, and that just means, how do you win against which team? How do you lose against which team? To be, I think, what hurt them, at least in the voters, and at least my eyes, as one of the 6 voters, and then the strength of schedule is that shutout of Brandon. But they get extra points for going to Picayune and beating them there. But it's so close up the top. Picayune, Poplarville, Gulfport. I posted last week on Tuesday when I released the Tuesday top 10, the strength of schedule according to Max Prep strength of schedule. And Poplarville has the weakest one of the top 10, and they're hanging on by a thread. They're at 2nd place. Wouldn't be surprised if they dropped, even if they did win at Terry. Just depends on what Gulfport does to D'Iberville. They beat D'Iberville by 3 scores, 4 scores. I look for Gulfport to jump Poplarville. So that's just the way it goes. And in the poll, there's no right or wrong poll. We try to be realistic and give people, the fans, what we believe is. They are not going to play against each other, a lot of these teams. Right there on the outside, Biloxi 11th, West Harrison, their strength of schedule is not great. They're 12th. What if stuff? If West Harrison beat Picayune tonight, West Harrison ranked 12th right now. West Harrison would not. They wouldn't pass Picayune. They wouldn't jump all the way to number 1. We don't do that. Would they be in the top 10? Obviously, they'll be in the top 10. And they still may could get in the top 10. It just depends what the teams right there above them do. And, again, the quality of wins. But that is the top 10 there. And, Mark, appreciate the comment there as we are getting some tags on X and on Twitter as we normally do. And if you want live updates, please follow on X at Coast Football. We'll post some of them. We'll share some of them here on Facebook. A majority of live updates is going to be on X. As far as we'll run over to Smack 'em, go to their Facebook page. That's SMACM, Smack 'em Athletics with an X. The posted every Friday, the stat leaders, Gulf Coast tackle leaders. We'll go over just a few of them. Sage Fayard from Bay at 83. Andre Peters from Gulfport at 77. Garrett is it Otter from PRC at 75. Fred Nicholson from Gaucher at 74. Boone Wilson from Harrison Central at 72. And Scott Toothman from Van Cleve at 70. They list about 10 names down there. You can go and check it there. I shared it on our Facebook page along as you can go to Smack 'em Athletics page too. Sack leaders for the Coast, Bryant Assimer, as I say, Ocean Springs with 8. And Jalen Parnell, who's missed several games, unfortunately, due to injury, was with 4, and he's still out. He has 4. Jaden Curtis from St. Martin has 4. Then they have about 7, 8, 9 players that have 3 sacks there. Interception leaders, Tylen Wilson, Pascagoula with 5. Fabian Dawkins from Stone with 4. Fred Nicholson from Gaucher with 3. And then you have 6 names that are tied for 2 interceptions on the season. The offense passing leaders, Colby King from Greene County. True, we don't necessarily, we'll share it. They cover him. He's leading the Smack 'em leaderboard, 1,607 yards, 20 passing touchdowns. And second, leading the Coast, Perius Trivelin from Pass Christian, 1,481 total yards. Silas Quarter from Pascagoula, 1,399. And then it'll go Trey Irving from Gaucher, 1,152. The rushing leaders, Daryl Smith, Picayune, 1,479 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns. That leads both in categories. Jordan Stapleton from West Harrison's 10 touchdowns and 915 rushing yards. And Jalen Antonio, if I say that right, from Bay, 814 yards. Again, they have other ones listed. Check those out. And then the receiving here on the Coast, Matthew Danley from Pass Christian, 646 yards. He has 7 receiving touchdowns. Jace Matthews from Greene County, 602 yards. Bryn Moody from George County, 433 yards. And it appears that Montrell Dortch and that from George County and Matthew Danley both have 7 receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns, which should lead the Coast in that category. So we're fixing to sign off here. Appreciate those who join us. I see now on the Facebook, you got Tomcats hosting Van Cleve. They have homecoming. They already have their live stream up. So I'll go to them. You got Ocean Springs that will have their live stream, Pascagoula, several of them. And then also Talking Ball, y'all. Go on their app. It's a free app. They have PRC you can listen to. They got Poplarville you can listen to. And, of course, Picayune you can listen to via the app. It's free. And you have also, for those, asking about just football, of course, we're a football page, but I have a Coast High School sports page on Facebook. If you go there and search that out, I repost everything else sports-wise for high school football. Of course, volleyball just had their state championship games, but it's Coast High School Sports powered by Matt Stats. Of course, you're right here at Gulf Coast High School Football powered by Matt Stats. So I try to share everything else on that other page. Check out that page if you want to know. It's a one-stop shop for everything high school football, from the Iberville bass fishing team. It's a lot of sports that from the, forget what school it is. A lot of schools have the gaming team, the video games, competition. So it's a lot going on there. But tonight, week 8, crucial games for those who are 0-1 that don't want to go 0-2. It'll be interesting tonight. We'll see if we have a post-game show. Again, leave in the comments. What do you like to see in a pregame show? What do you want to talk more about? We'll certainly try to abide as fans. We like to bring the fans what they want. So for Matt Stats, I will see you after the game, hopefully tonight. Be safe out there. Enjoy the games under the lights. Stats out.